The Department of Education was formed by Jimmy Carter, one of my favorite presidents. And immediately, Republicans, including Ronald Reagan, started trying to do away with the Department of Education. Well, Reagan sort of got on board, and he saw how the people were feeling about that, and he about halfway got behind it, so it wasn't a problem. George H.W. Bush, his successor, actually was in lockstep with the Democrats, supporting the Department of Education. Bill Clinton, great supporter of the Department of Education. George H.W. Bush, believe it or not, a great supporter of the Department of Education. Barack Obama, of course, great supporter of DOE. And then we come to the current president. And Trump announced from the very beginning his intentions to do away with DOE. And Trump doesn't know anything about DOE. He doesn't know anything about the Department of Education. He only knows this is what his supporters want, so that's why he's doing it. As a principal, a school principal, my first concern, and I shared this with our teachers the very first day of pre-planning, before students ever came to school. These students and these parents don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Anybody who's ever been a teacher knows that's true. And anybody who's ever been a parent knows that's true as well. Another thing I shared with our teachers on that very first day, you're going to have to overcome some hurdles and some mountains in many cases to reach these students. They come from broken homes. They come from homes where one parent may be missing, where one parent may have deserted the family. They come from homes where there's alcohol and drugs involved. They come from homes where they do not get 3 meals a day, oftentimes do not get 2 meals a day, oftentimes do not come to school clean with good clothes to wear. You're going to have to reach through all of that crap to make contact with these students. And one of the problems we had, financially speaking, many students are on the free lunch program, and a sizable percentage of our students at my school were on that program as well. And a lot of times there were hang-ups, there were delays in getting the forms completed and so forth. Well, guess what? Lunch came anyway. Lunchtime came. I told our cafeteria manager, do not let any student go without a lunch. You give them a lunch, and you let me know how much we owe you. The school will pay for that lunch. These kids have got to have lunch. Well, the Department of Education, thankfully, got in gear, and because of Head Start and the early childhood programs that they had, they fed students not only lunch, they fed them breakfast. And if not for these early childhood programs, Head Start, and so forth, these students would have been some of the most desperately needed children that we have. They were in danger, and probably a sizable portion of them would not have succeeded without these programs. Now shift to today's Department of Education. It is no better. Trump immediately upon taking office said, we're going to abolish the Department of Education. On his first day of office, he made that announcement. And on March 20th, Trump ordered to close the Department of Education. That's what we're faced with Donald Trump. And because of that, children are in danger. But not just children. Department of Education also covered college loans. Let's see, it covered
grants for
all sorts of Pell Grants.
Research grants.
Yes. Title I, low-income federal student loan payments. And Trump and his supporters say that there will be no change in what students and those people receive. Well, if you believe that, you can't, like the gentleman in the hurricane people, you can't do the job with less people. The job was barely being done with a fully funded Department of Education. And believe you me, we're going to suffer. There is nothing as important to a nation as the caring for, the training, and the teaching of its young people. That's the fabric of a nation. So I'll wrap it up with that. Just to say we're in trouble, folks. We better get rid of this guy, and we better hope that the courts and Congress and other politicians, Ms. Lee, if you're listening, we have to hold their feet to the fire. We have to elect some people, some judges,